Joanna, you're supposed to be 19 when it's 12 p.m., not 1.
You were 19 for 59 minutes before you realized.
Why is no one talking about how she used 1 a.m. instead of midnight?
Wait, at the beginning of this video, the clock says 12:59. Doesn't that mean that it's already been 59 minutes past midnight, so she's already 19 by then? Or am I just dumb?
You know I was born at 1 a.m., right? Okay, so you're gonna have to excuse my absolutely terrible eczema, okay? I'm going through a bit of a flare-up right now. There's nothing I can do to stop it. So all of the people in my last video who thought I had hickeys, you think I have time for men? Hey dudes, how's it going? So this is a yearly video I like to make for several reasons, really. One, I get to rant about everything I've learned this year. And two, we get to see the improvement or deterioration in my art skills that occurred over the past year. Now, I don't want to be purposefully obtuse about the sister moment we're having right now on the internet, but I don't also want to talk about something that doesn't really concern me. So I'm just gonna say this. Jeffree Star is the pink Slender Man. Okay, I'm done. That's the only joke I'm gonna make. Okay, you know what? This video is gonna be long enough, so I'm gonna stop talking out the ass, and let's just get right into it. Hi. So I've sketched out everything, you know, and I've been really diligent to even map out the different colors. I didn't come here to play. I think I'm gonna start with the background this time, and then we'll leave the face. We'll leave the face. You know what my biggest regret in life is? Deciding to paint this painting with a palette this big. What was I thinking? This is like the size of my face. In other news, I'm absolutely sweating. What? And this is why you should never, ever buy brushes off of Amazon. This is the third time I'm recording this whole spiel, so you're gonna have to deal with my patience. Now, I'm aware that like everything I'm about to say sounds extremely mundane, especially given the current happenings, so just take it with a grain of salt. A lot of things happened behind the scenes this past year, and a lot of things that I haven't really been honest about. So let's go back, all the way back to August of 2019. I'm out of school, I'm having fun, I'm blonde, and then my parents are like, hey, let's go on a vacation. So we pick up everything and then we go to Brazil, and it's so much fun. You know, we haven't seen our relatives in almost a decade, so it's nice to like rejoice and see all our friends and family and, you know, go out for dinner and eat a lot. Now that's all fun and games, but the problem lies in that with this little vacation, it took us out of our normal day-to-day routine so badly, and you don't realize that until you come home and normal life hits you in the face again. We got home at the end of August, and I was going into first year of undergrad in like 4 days. No matter how strong you want to say that you are, like, you're never prepared for it. University is not high school with a little bit of sprinkling of condiments on the side. No, it's not. So it's the end of August, and I'm like completely out of my normal routine, and I'm in no shape to get back into the swing of things, right? School begins, and it was kind of like trying to jump onto a train that's already moving, and I wasn't prepared. So yeah, school begins, everything's but I'm dealing with it. I'm sitting in the back of Chem 1000, and I'm just marinating in my anger. Then October rolls around, and I realize, Joanna, you're really sleep deprived. As a kid, I've always been in bed at 9 p.m. ritually. Sleep is honestly underrated. But here's the thing, you know, ever since YouTube started, there's this really cool phenomenon that's kind of been going on where you'll just be like scrolling on the homepage, you know. Oh, hey, is that like a Parmesan recipe? Of course. How do you make Parmesan? You have to, wait, what? You have to age it for a year? What time is it? Oh my God, it's 2 a.m. Where the hell did the hours go? Pretty much for the entirety of 2019, I survived on like 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night, which isn't healthy for anybody. And this is where things kind of start to spiral out of control. Because when you're tired, you can't get any work done. And when you can't get any work done, you spend a lot of time on the computer. And then 10 p.m. rolls around and you're like, holy crap, I have a test tomorrow. So you start frantically studying. And then you can't go to bed on time, so you wake up tired, and the whole thing starts again. Now December rolls around and all of this starts to take a toll on me, you know. I'm generally unhappy. I get uninspired, and you can tell because I barely posted at the end of 2019. I have no idea how I got through December of last year. How I went through the entirety of exam season and didn't fail a single exam honestly baffles me. I have no idea how that happened. And that's the end of the first semester.
Okay, so I'm about to start the second half of the background. And this is where things kind of went south on the last one. I don't know if you can see it, you know, but I just kind of freestyled it. I free soloed it. I'm sorry, pardon, that's not the same water. So yeah, I've kind of got my work cut out for me here. I'm listening to the Great Gatsby soundtrack, and they have a perfect rendition of Bang Bang EDM style. Oh no. Oh yes. I need to go to bed.
So January comes around and I'm like, you know what, Joanna? It's time that you get your together, you know? So I made it a thing that I would be in bed by 9 p.m. every night and lights off by 10. So that worked for like 2 weeks. And then it hit me that I'm pretty addicted to technology. And sometimes you're in bed, you're about to go to sleep, and then all you want to do is go on your phone. So I did several things to manage my little technology addiction. Number one, I deleted Twitter. You know, I'll joke about the fact that I deleted Twitter in a couple videos, but I've never actually explained why. There's several reasons why. First of all, it's super addictive. You know, you could just be scrolling on your timeline for like ages. Two, that thing is like an echo chamber of anger. You'll be scrolling and you can just feel yourself get more angry. There's something about the culture of Twitter where you can't express your opinion without someone else taking it as a personal offense. And it's just toxic. There's something extremely wrong with the fabric of Twitter, and it's not my place to fix it, you know? So I had to dip out of there. I'm not an expert. I don't like to dish out advice on anything. I don't like to recommend that you do anything. But one thing I feel comfortable getting behind 100%. And that's telling you that your life will be 100% better if you delete your Twitter account. So after I deleted my Twitter account, you know, it kind of just made me realize, do I really need a phone? No, I don't. So I got rid of it. I haven't touched my phone in half a year. I know my friends are probably texting me, but hey, I limit the time I spend on YouTube to like 30 minutes a day. And this is coming from someone who has a freaking YouTube channel. So it is possible to drastically cut down the amount of time you spend just like looking at stupid stuff on the internet. Is it hard? Yes, especially given what I do. I'm not in the loop of a lot of things. Like I honestly come to learn about drama and things like that, or news, way after everybody has learned about it. But the amount of time and productivity that I get out of living this way, it's invaluable, honestly. The other thing I also did was delete my Instagram account. I deleted it 2 weeks ago. I hadn't touched it in a year, so there was really no point for me to keep it, honestly. Like, Instagram also is like completely different from Twitter and toxic in its own way, but I'm pretty sure that conversation has been had like a million times before, so I'm not gonna try to add on to it.
Hi, hello, good morning. It's the morning. I'm about to start the eyes and the face and everything else, you know? I don't know if you can tell, but my eyelid's kind of swollen. So we're gonna see what that's about, you know? Pretty sure it's the stupid eczema, but what am I gonna do anymore? Anyways, okay, you know what? I need to paint. I think you have something on your nose. I'm not entirely sure though. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's on your entire face. What the hell?
So second semester begins. I'm in a much better mood. I'm also able to finally, improve my eating habits. I'm not spending my entire day eating, which is kind of what I was doing for pretty much ever since I had come back from Brazil. Now, I did make a couple changes to my diet. I'm not gonna talk about that at all, because as soon as you even open your mouth about nutrition, everybody turns into Dr. Oz and wants to tell you what to eat and what you shouldn't eat. So I'm gonna kind of spare the details on that one for now. But either way, I was actually also able to fix a lot of things with this little diet change that shall remain nameless. I had kind of a couple digestive issues before, and now they're just gone, see you later. My anxiety kind of disappeared too. I can lift more weights in the gym. Well, I could. I can't now because I'm stuck at home for the past 6 months. I was able to fix my insatiable hunger. The bottomless pit that was my stomach feels a little bit shorter now, so that's good. I grew. I grew. This should not even be possible. This goes against all laws of physics. I grew 1/4 of an inch. What? I'm 19. I shouldn't be growing. It's not at all. It's not even in my business to be growing at this point. But I grew 1/4 of an inch. Who would have thunk? So now I'm just past 5'4". Everybody should honestly kind of be worried because soon I'm gonna be taller than the Empire State Building. So just keep that in mind. It's time for a pandemic. Okay, so it's like the beginning of March, and then everybody's like, Corona, and we get stuck at home. Honestly, quarantine was probably one of the best things to ever happen to me. I got so productive during quarantine. And I mean, let's be honest here. My life really wouldn't be that different if quarantine hadn't happened. And now I'm here. I'm 19. I'm 5'4.25". My blood pressure is 110/70. And my heart rate is 120. So I'd say things are going pretty well. As for the future, who knows? I have 3 more years of school to go. I don't know what I'm gonna do after that. I still don't. Maybe I'll go off and live in the woods in a hole or something. I'll be happy with that at this point, honestly. Whoever this woman is, I'm sincerely sorry. I have 3 paintings of you in this exact position. It's not what it looks like, I promise. I looked back at last year's video before I made this one, and I couldn't help but cringe at how much I've changed since last year. I've learned a lot about YouTube culture and the difference between watching content and actually creating it. And there's a lot of nuance to that situation that I think you only understand if you've kind of been on both sides of the aisle. It's kind of always surprised me how there's this expectation that because you're a YouTuber, you have to take this extremely seriously. I don't take this seriously. I never have and I never will. I don't have a manager. I don't have a PR team. I don't have a personal assistant. I don't have a lawyer. I hate people. I can count on one hand the amount of times I've collabed with someone. I don't take sponsorships. Use code John Cena for 10% off your Morphe brushes. Hell, my channel isn't even verified by YouTube. For all I know, you guys could all be fake. It was just last week that I got my 1,000,000 subscriber plaque. I still even haven't gotten my 100,000 one yet. But because of all these things, people often look at me and there's something strange and then they're like, is that a glitch in the simulation? In my humbly unhumble opinion, for all those reasons you just mentioned, you bought all your subscribers. And you know what? Go ahead. Maybe I did buy all my subscribers. To this day, I still get people asking me if I bought my subscribers. Maybe I did. Maybe you're a robot. Maybe I invented you. Maybe I programmed your AI so that you could fulfill my sick fantasy. And at the end of the day, this is just all a lesson in accepting the fact that people unfortunately have the right to say whatever the hell they want about you. And the faster you accept that, the better your life will be. I know mine was. I like to remind myself that most of the people talking smack about me on the internet don't have the balls to come up to me in real life and say it to my face. The last thing I wanted to say is just, a little tidbit for the masses. It doesn't matter if you're a rock. It doesn't matter if you're a paperclip. It doesn't matter if you're a shoe. if you're on the internet, your racist past will come back to haunt you. We should probably talk about this. Not gonna lie, it turned out like really good. I think, at least. Looking at the one I painted last year, I mean, there's a world of a difference. And it's funny because last year when I finished that painting, I thought that one was amazing. So, you know, this is nice. I definitely improved my color matching skills. That was something that I had kind of struggled with on the last painting, especially compared to like the one before that. What the hell was I thinking when I made that first one? Why did I ever think that it looked even remotely like the picture? Because it doesn't. It's like I've taken the original photo, thrown it in a blender, and then decided to paint it. And even then I did a terrible job. I hate making videos where I talk about myself for too long because it just feels awfully selfish. But you know what? Once in a while, it's pretty entertaining. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for sitting through this whole video if you actually did. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Love you.
Why do I feel like somebody's watching me? I can't enjoy my tea. Why do I feel like somebody's watching